India, that is Bharat, the human created language, no suffice to describe what is India. India is India, no parallel. It means that out of all more than 200 countries, no country can stand before India in order to compare India with other nations. That is why India is India, no parallel. India is not a mere name, it's a concept, it is a SOCH. Okay, in order to describe India, we should look back, okay, since human originated. Okay, around 2 million years back, the first human originated, separated from the Homo erectus on African soil. Since then, by 2 lakh years, by the time of 2 lakh years back, the modern human, the present human originated on African soil. Okay, 1 lakh years back, he entered into Indian subcontinent by crossing the Hindu Kush as well as Indus River. Indus River, Indus, it is a Sanskrit word. Indus means a sheet of water. Whoever trying to cross it, it appears as a sea. That is why it is known as a sea of water. Indus. Okay, it's a Sanskrit word. 1 lakh years back, the human entered into Indian subcontinent. Around 50,000 years back, the human spread across this Indian subcontinent. Since then, it has never been a no man land. Okay, around 10,000 years back, that is from around 12,000 years from now. Okay, there was a modern agriculture started. That is at the around 10,000 BC in the present Balochistan, in the Makran coast area of the Pakistan. Since then, it is flourished with settlement life. Okay, by the around 5,000, 4,000 years back, this first Indus Valley civilization, one of the greatest civilizations on the earth. In what way? In terms of this territorial extent, it is around 12 lakh square kilometer area, which means this is the extent of it is more than the combination of the all other civilizations like Egyptian, Mesopotamia, Chinese, all other civilization. And the population, the total entire population of the Indus Valley civilization is around 5 million, 50 lakh population. Okay, which means that India has never been, it's a depopulated country, and it has always been highly populated nations on the planet. This is what India, it's a stream. That is why in other words, we can describe that India is one of the oldest civilizations on the earth. Okay, there are around half dozen civilizations like this Nile or Egyptian, Mesopotamian or Babylonian, Greek, Roman, Mayan and Chinese civilization. Apart from these, this Indus Valley civilization is also one out of them. Okay, in this way, there are around half dozen greatest civilizations are there on the earth surface. So remaining all, beyond this half dozen, remaining all are the just offshoots of these 6 civilizations. Out of these all civilizations, India is one of the oldest civilizations, and not only that, out of all civilizations, even including offshore, India has been surviving uninterruptedly. It's just like a perennial. That's why it is one of the, out of the 2 living civilizations on the earth, India is one. The other living civilization is China. Remaining all civilization, like for example the Mesopotamian civilization in the Euphrates and Tigris river basins, it was ended. Now this entirely new Islamic Republic of Iran, Islamic Republic of Iraq is there. This entire, in terms of language, religion, the entire new thing has originated on the bed of this Euphrates and Tigris, the earlier Babylonian civilization bed, river area. And also in the Nile, as far as Nile is concerned, the Egyptian civilization is concerned. Now the present Egypt is the Egyptian Republic of Egypt, which means this Islamic Republic of Egypt. Now we have only pyramids related in order to indicate that there was a flourish of civilization there. Whereas look at India, okay, Mayan extincted, Egypt, this Roman ended, Greek, entirely new Christian, this civilization was there, the present civilization, extended part of the Asian minor civilization. Similarly, look at India and China, these are the living civilization. Since the journey started, they have been continuing like a perennial rivers, like a Ganga river. Okay, this is what India, in terms of this, even historically, this is the concept of India. Okay, it is not confined to any period of time. It has been there Okay, it is transcends to the history, it is beyond history. Similarly, why? From where it gets its such a kind of huge strength to flow like a perennial river. For example, as far as this Ganga, Indus and these Himalayan rivers are concerned, they are perennial rivers. Okay, because during the monsoon season they are getting monsoonal rains. During the summer they are getting melting water from this one. Like this, India, where there is a strength of India, it's a strength of India. This is not a amazing, but of course it's not a greatest secret. But only few people can unravel the mystery, the soul force behind this India's perennialness. See, look at India. The greatest strength of India lies in its geography. See, geographically, India is a continental in size. It is known as the subcontinent. It is situated in between the world's third largest ocean, that is the Indus Ocean in the south, and the mightiest, that is around the mightiest. This is around the average height of the Himalayas are the 6,100 meters, 6.1 kilometers. Your height, average height. It can not only physically divide India from the rest of the world. It is climatically. Climate is also divided by the Himalayas. Even for example, this average height is 6.1 kilometers height, which means that around 60% of the earth, this climate, this air is there below the 5.6 kilometers. In terms, it is dividing, not only physically. So India has been divided from the rest of the world, not only physically, even climatologically by the mighty Himalayas. But however, it is not only separating, it is also acting as a bridge between Indian civilization and other rest of the world civilization. This is the beauty of India, which means that geographically, the nature has created this country in a different way, as an amazing way. Okay, that is why India is known as a miniature of the earth. Whatever that we can find on the earth's surface, climatic features, physical features, soil features, pedology, cultural features, social features, whatever that one we can see in India. India is in fact a miniature of the world. Okay, you need not travel across the globe in order to see what is there on the earth's surface. It is enough to travel across the Indian subcontinent. That is the beauty of India. India is a concept in this aspect. This greatest strength of India lies in its geography. In what way? It has the monsoonal rainfall. In fact, this huge climates or the climatic diversity is there in India. But however, this climatic diversity, amidst this climatic diversity, this monsoonal climate is creating a unifying force across this one, centrifugal and centripetal force. This is the monsoonal rainfall. This monsoons in fact contributing a huge rainfall, water, and also this richest underground water system on the earth's surface is there in India, one of the, and also perennial river system. And soils, as far as soils, all kinds of the soils of the earth we can see in India. And apart from it, physiographically, around 75 to 80% of the India's land area is suitable for arable land. Out of it now, okay, though India is the highest populous country on the earth's surface, out of its 2.4% of the land area of the globe, half of the area, around 48% of the area is brought under the plug. That is what. That is why India has always been, across the human history, it is one or two highest populous country on the earth's surface. Simply, the birth mata can feed them because it's arable land with almost all these 365 days of this sunrise and water resources, good soil, these are photosynthesis, these are everything, every kind of comfort is there on Indian soil. That is why since the first human entered into India 1 lakh years back from African soil, probably from the African continent, it has never been no man land. Because every comfort of the human life is there in Indian soil. That's why Bharat Mata is the richest mother on the earth's surface. It's not a surprising thing. This kind of history and society and this geographical features entered into its society. Then it entered into and it has been synthesized into a rich culture. That is what India's culture. Okay, according to one analysis, according to historians, there are 60 cultures are there in the Indian civilization, in Indian culture. Out of this 60 culture, this entire 60 culture can be subdivided into hundreds and hundreds of the subculture and microculture. That is why India is known as a cultural extravaganza. A cultural extravaganza. And in terms of race, okay, almost all 7 major races of the earth we can see in India. How stream after stream, wave after wave, every race entered into India. Because on India, geographically there are all kinds of human comforts are there. That's why every race came to India and settled down here. How it settled down in between the Indian Ocean and this mighty Himalaya, almost all races just like a meltdown, like as if in a pot of water. That's why India is known as a melting pot of races. It's a melting pot. That is why the present India is in fact, or indeed, it's a synthesis of almost all races. That is why Indian DNA is a different. In this aspect, India is not a simple name. It's a concept. It is an idea. It is an idea. It is not a mere name. Only few people can understand the strength and profoundness of the India. India is not a simple country. Only few people across its human civilization, we can see India's existence. In its India's existence, across its India's existence, only few people. Like for example, Alexander the Great, 250 years before the Jesus Christ. Alexander the Great, earlier Rama and Krishna, and earlier much before. I don't want to consider these people as a mythological personalities. We should, how to substantiate it. For example, look at, if you travel from the Nepal and Bihar to and Ayodhya, northern UP to up to South India, we can see Rama's related geographical features. Unless Rama had been emerged on the earth's surface, we could not see these features. That's why we should not consider these figures as a mythological figures. Okay, Rama, Krishna, later Ashoka the Great, and later Akbar, Mahatma Gandhi, and some only few people understood the spirit of India, the soulness of India, the livingness of India. And recently, just Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he successfully inserted the soul of India into our Indian constitution. For the last 75 years, India has been surviving like one of the greatest country, and within 75 years, it has been reviving and rejuvenating as earlier the greatest glory status. Now India is going to become superpower under the guidance of this constitution. So we can't see such a nation on the earth surface. Once this extincted, okay, it never has been revived. For example, look at in Egypt, Mesopotamia, Mayan, various civilizations, they can't re-emerge. They can't rejuvenate. But look at India. India, since around 700 AD onwards, up to 1947, around 1500 years, India has been ruled by, not by Indians, not by Indians. Okay, it has been ruled by foreigners completely. The first, the Persian medieval Islamic kings, later Delhi Sultanate, and later these Mughals, and later highly repressive and suppressive and rulings of the British rule. And during the British era, India is plummeted to its lowest position in its civilization history itself. However, after 1947, within 75 years, it has started to reviving, rejuvenating itself under the Constitution of India, as prepared by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar mostly, because he gave complete shape to Indian Constitution from the draft Constitution prepared by this Assembly, Constituent Assembly. Okay, look at this Indian Constitution. It is also known as, it is being described as a living document. Why it is a living document? Every aspiration, the civilizational spirit of India, its livingness, its age-oldness, one of the oldness, everything has been successfully inserted into Indian Constitution. That is why it is known as living document. We can substantiate that. How it is a living document? Then now India is rejuvenating, okay, in a way to suit its earlier cultural features. How it has been reviving? Unless the constitution is guided, the guiding principle, the driving force behind it is a living, unless it contains the features, various cultural features, how it can guide such a civilization to revive itself? That is why the Indians' livingness is inserted into Indian constitution. So Indian constitution is an unparalleled constitution on the earth surface, But we should not compare this with the other Western civilization. Of course, they are also being described. They are proclaiming as a mothers of the democracies. But that is not the true. So, because they could not understand the profoundness of this one. For example, look at the United States of America history. History started around 400 years back. Its a native population, red Indians were thrown out from this one. And similarly, Bindugu, they were thrown out from the Australia. The present Australia is the extended part of Europe. Europe is not a pure civilization. It is an extended part of Asian civilization. In this aspect, US, the present greatest countries are historyless countries. Look at Indian history. Okay, the India is a huge, tremendous history. This is the biggest burden for the Indian school children. In fact, it's not a surprising. Okay, in this aspect, India is India. It is a miniature of the earth. It is the fountainhead of the knowledge. It is a cultural extravaganza. It is an ethnological museum. Almost all races. It's almost all diversity of the earth we can see in India. It's a fountainhead of knowledge in terms of philosophical knowledge. It's a cultural, rich culture. In fact, no other such culture, civilization on the earth's surface. And its linguistic diversity, religious diversity. It is a breeding ground of religions, cradle of the various sects, religions, hotbed of the human brain, and breeding ground of the various philosophers, the greatest immaculate heroes on the earth's surface. That is why India is known as India. India is India, no parallel example. India is not a mere name, it's a concept. Even Chitragupta also could not attempt to describe what is India. The human created language, in fact, not suffice to describe what is India. So we should feel India, we can feel India, but we can't describe India.